So I've got to that time of year again when I need to do the cutback, and I've started with this one. This is Calamagrostis waldenbush. Now you need to cut your Calamagrostis back if you've got them, whatever type of Calamagrostis you got, it's probably time to do it. I'm more of the middle of England, in the UK. If you're further north, I would probably delay a little bit, a little week or two, before you do your cutback. But that's down to you, it's down to your local weather conditions as to when you do it. Now Miscanthus, I could have left, even I could have left this a lot longer, because these are a warm season grower, so it wouldn't matter too much whether I cut those back or not. The one thing I'm going to suggest to you is that you put a pile of these clippings and put them somewhere they're not in your way, in a corner somewhere, and let the birds use them for the nesting materials, because that is great nesting materials for them. And they're just about to start doing it, building nests, especially where I am. There's already signs that they're starting to do it, and it will help them. So these are the big Miscanthuses, and like I say, the reason I don't like to do the cutback too early is because we're then left with a very bare looking garden. Now the Iletelophyums, or the old sedums, you can see their heads all over here, and they're still looking absolutely superb. I absolutely love them. And I will delay another week before I cut those back, but I've got to do it very soon. I can't just leave them alone because they're already growing inside. Some of the other ones are a bit further on the nose in the leaf, so we've got to make a start. Now this is Deschampsia, this is called Silver Mist, and this would be fantastic for bird nesting. So I shall make sure some of that goes into the corner with the rest, and we shall just leave it alone. So what I tend to do is I tend to go around, find all the grasses at this time of year, which are pretty easy to find, and I chop them back. I've a lot of pruning to do just yet as well. Whoa, nearly fell over then. I've a lot of pruning to do, and that'll be the secondary job I'll do. Now this is another Calamagrostis, and I just told you that you should cut all your Calamagrostis back. Well, this is Brachytricha, and I quite like the look of that, so I'm just leaving that one a bit longer. So there's a lot of pruning to do, and what I like to do as well is I like to get through each border. I take each border at a time. So as an example, boardwalk border, which this is, I'll take the grasses down, then I'll go into this Symphotrichum monk, which is this one here, and I will go in and I will clip that back. I will clip back all the hardy, woody, stocky stuff will be clipped down, and then I like to go through the border with a three-pronged cultivator, and I like to clip back. Oh, while we're here, for those interested, I did get the camera, the wildlife camera, there it is. The only thing I've caught so far is wood pigeons and a cat, a local cat that comes in, that's it. But I'm going to better position it so we can see as summer comes whether we're getting the hedgehogs. This is a Euphorbia palustris. Look at the size of the buds down below. So we're at a point where do we cut back or don't we? Do we leave it alone? Should we leave them? Well, that's a decision you have to make yourself. I can't make that decision for you because you might be in an area where you're very well protected, and it's a good decision to take and do it now. I'm in a bit more of an exposed position. I am on an hillside and I am very well protected because of the planting that I've done. But I still have to be mindful that we may get some bad weather, and we may get some bad weather, and this is a risk you've got to take. If you've got a bit of a time limitation, as I have, then you've got to do it as and when you can. And it's exactly what I intend to do. Now, I've not cut everything back. There's another Deschampsia there. That's on trial at the moment. I haven't cut that back. I can see the green's already there. Good idea to get your Deschampsias down. And this is Miscanthus lutaria riparius. It will not matter about this one. I could leave that another month and it'd be fine, but I will clip them back. There's lots of woody, hardy stuff like this Rudbeckia that I've not done yet. This will be easy to cut back. I will cut it back right down at the base there. That'll be down. There's no regrowth yet. It was moved around, as you know, at the back end of summer, and it'll be fine. Now this dustbin doesn't need to be here. It's just here because at the moment I don't know what to do with it, but I will find a use for it. But we've got this Sinara cardunculus in there, look. It's doing really well. I'm going to leave it there till the frosts are a little bit less likely. It'll give it a bit of protection. So all the Symphotrichums have got to be cut back, and they will be cut back. So today the garden's looking pretty naked because of some of the grasses I've cut back. So the miscanthus from around this sheep ring feeder, gone, they're down. I've left them at the moment. There's another Calamagrostis here. Gone, down it goes. It's a real sad time for me. Japanese anemone over there, that's down as well. I still think that's, is it Honorine Joubert or Joubert Honorine? Anyway, Joubert Honorine. Anyway, they're down. Now, again, we've got Euphorbia starting to pop up. This one's called Excalibur. Euphorbia Excalibur, and that's the colour as it approaches, as it starts pushing up, which is great. And I really do like this one. Quite a tall growing one. I've chopped it with I have an edge trimmer that's a battery edge trimmer, which is fantastic. It's a still hedge trimmer, and it's just the best edge trimmer I've had. And I've got a petrol one, but I've moved over to battery because it's a lot easier, a lot quieter, obviously a lot more friendly to the environment. And I've chopped them back. Now, usually I would chop these back with a secateurs, but I had the chopper out, so I just went for it. Just got to be careful not to chop the heads off. That's why I like to do some of the plants with the secateurs, so that we don't make any mistakes. I've yet to take all of these off, which is Cortaderia, Patagonia. Let's see if this will come off easy. Yep, there you go. So that came off relatively easy. Some people will then take those in the house and use them as decoration. I will probably take those to Kathy, and she will probably throw them straight in the bin. So I probably won't bother. So some of them won't come off as easily as that. I'm just tugging at them. So that will require me to go right down into the actual thing itself and clip back. This would be a good time as well for me to lift Cortaderia and split it a little bit. If I so wish to, if I want more plants, this is the time I'll do it at the cutback. What else is there? Oh yeah, here we go, look. Now the one I've left alone at the moment is this one here. This is a Miscanthus malapartis. It's still a baby. There's no rush, as I said, for the Miscanthus. They're fine. They'll be okay. And then this one here, this is the Calamagrostis border, look. So throw your mind back to last year, or even early this year, or look back on my other videos and have a look. Look at it, it's looking very, very sorry for itself at the minute. It has to be done. There's no way around it. You've got to make that decision when you're going to do this. There's all the cutbacks. As I said, still a little bit early in my opinion. I could have still left this a bit longer, but I've committed myself to other things for the next 2 weekends. So I need to make a start each night. And I've done the same here as the Waldenbush one. This is Carl Forster. It's right down to a stump. Don't be too fearful with this, because it's not going to hurt it. If you do too much chopping back, don't worry. You can chop it right to the ground and it'll be absolutely fine. There's still little bits and bobs. There's another little Miscanthus there. And a Miscanthus here. This one's likely to be coming out. That's got to be giganteous there. It's not very big, I know, at the minute, but it's coming out. It's all getting moved around. Don't forget this area is getting redeveloped this spring, and things will look different. Here's the great Miscanthus memory, and is now just a memory. There it is. Down on the ground, gone completely. So all we'll do with those, as I said before, we'll literally pick them out, move them. Let's show you what we've created from it. And there's the little stump. That can now, in fact, there are sections in there. I'd happily split that. There's a split there, a natural split. There's a natural split here. I will split that down. I'll probably lift the whole plant in on this occasion. Split it down into the best forms. Keep a quiet chunk. Put it back in, and then the others can go into pots. Here we go. Some more Deschampsias here. And I love Deschampsias. I absolutely love them. Again, almost like a hedgehog. Just think of that. Don't worry about cutting into the leaf, as I have done with all these. Do not worry about that. We're early enough for it not to really affect it. But again, look, excellent seed heads for the birds. Dry, they're gone now, the seeds are gone off those, but that will make excellent material. So do yourselves a favour and put that into a corner. Or a little bit of it, clumps of it, put it around your garden in little sections, hang it up, do what you need to do, but leave a little bit for the birds. You're doing them a favour. So that's it really, I've made a start. I've had to make that start today. It's a lovely day, it's just a shame I've got other things on us. I could have actually done the whole cutback today. Here at Grassy Bottom it'll take me probably half a day to do a decent cutback, and that would include pruning things back nicely. And then I would have to have the clear up. So you could probably be looking at a full day, but what I like to do, as I said, I like to go through each border. I like to find seedlings, another good reason for doing your cutback, because you'll be finding little seedlings coming up. Some will be aggressive seedlings growing. Others will be ones that you're looking for and you want to take out and pot them up. And it's a good time to do that. So yes, I'll do each border individually, go through with a 3-pronged cultivator, pulling it through, and that'll be good as well. Now is a good time again, good time for you to be mulching. I've mulched mine already in September because I wanted the mulch. Have we got an example? Yes, we have. Right, so this mulch went down, what, September, October? And it's already been taken down by the worms, it's broken down, it's gone in, and it looks a lot more friable now. There's hardly any mulch left now. If you want to, you can actually start mulching now. You can do your mulching and get some on now. One thing I'd recommend you don't do is over mulch. Do not put too much mulch. So if you're going to put it on a yearly basis, if you've got ornamental grasses, try to avoid putting too much on those, because they will grow strappy and floppy. Certain varieties will, and they won't thank you for that, whereas others would love it. So you just need to be mindful of that. So that's just about the cutback. Now I know you're all probably desperate to see what I've done to the secret garden entrance, and I've done quite a lot of work. I'm not going to show you yet. It's going to be at least 3 more weeks before I get to a point where I'm going to actually show you what I've done. But quite a few changes there, all for the better. So that's up in the back there. So there you go, that's the cutback done. And if you can do it in your area, get on with it. Clear up after yourselves, obviously. Leave bits for the insects, for the birds, little clumps around the garden. And you'll be doing nature a favour. Doesn't it look terrible at this point? That's why I do wait. I do wait quite late on myself. I mean, where are we now? 2nd week in February, and I considered today's the day to make that start, as much as I don't want to. But what it's showing here is the alliums. That's summer drummer coming up, and another reason I've got to get on with it, because summer drummer grows quite quickly, and I need these grasses to be starting their growth as well to catch up with it, which they will, and it should look good in summer. Okay, right, I'll touch you on the next one. Ta-da.